Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's succeed, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka in Accra. My name is Selom Adonu. Tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes.
Yahweh envisages holding the encounters in September and the debates in October and November. We will announce the precise date, times, and venues for these events after conducting engagements with candidates.
The Institute for Economic Affairs, IEA, schedules presidential debates for October and November ahead of election 2024. The question is, have all stakeholders now been consulted? We'll tell you more soon. Also coming up, aggrieved workers of the produce buying company, PBC, demonstrate over the non-payment of 12 months of their salary arrears. We will seek some understanding into why the cocoa buying company has defaulted in its salary payments. Also coming up, John Mahama responds to claims that guinea fowls under the Eswa Sada program flew to Burkina Faso. We'll tell you more later on that. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
ORC extends deadline for filing of annual returns for all professional bodies in default to December 30 or risk being stricken off companies' register.
There is more business in the next 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across the country on all our affiliates and around the globe at citynewsroom.com. In the Western region, we are on Adrimpa 100.7 FM, in Takwa Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady, and Sky Power 93.5 FM also in Takrady. In the Bono region, this is Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Shanti region, Adrimpa 99.9 FM at Inkarie. In the Volta region, Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoe, and Freedom 88.1 FM in Suga Kope. In the northern region, this is Radio Gaki 88.3 FM in Saboba, and the upper east region, this is Quality 88.7 FM in Garu, and Nobia 98.1 FM at Naralugu in the northeast region. Your comments are welcome via WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. You can follow me on Twitter at Selomadunu. The hashtag, as always, is City Newsroom. Eno gives us the very first story.
The National Democratic Congress has accused the government of awarding the rehabilitation of the Sunyani Airport and 2 Cocoa Road projects to a company owned by a brother of NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, through sole sourcing. The NDC argues that despite criticizing sole sourcing before coming to power in 2016, the NPP is now using the same practice. At the Moment of Truth series held at the NDC headquarters, the party's national communications officer, Samik Jemfi, alleged that the costs for these projects have been inflated.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the media, the total contract value of just the 5 sole source contracts we have spoken about today, awarded to Bawomia's Brothers Company, amount to a colossal 218 million Ghana cedis, equivalent to 2.18 trillion old Ghana cedis. Just the 5 projects we have spoken about today. There are more, but so we are just talking about these 5. We will invite you again to talk about the rest, which will shock you and outrage you. But the serious question we must all ask ourselves is the huge savings the states would have made if these projects had at least been awarded through competitive tendering, as promised by Bawumia, Akufo-Addo and the NPP while in opposition. Nobody is saying, even though you campaign against the award of contracts to relatives of a former president who were even just helping the states doing things for free, you are awarding juicy contracts to your brothers and your brother's wife. And all the contracts are being awarded through sole sourcing, as we have demonstrated to you. And all the contracts are inflated. And you pay them with alacrity when many contractors who got their jobs through competitive tendering, have executed their jobs, are sitting home for years. They are not being paid. Some are getting stroke. Some are dying. They are not being paid. Interest on the loans they have taken is killing them, and they are not being paid. And one company getting all these juicy, overpriced contracts through sole sourcing. As for them, they are paying them like water. You've seen the evidence for yourself. So, my brothers and sisters, the above enumerated facts badly expose the dishonesty of Alhaji Bawumia on the subject of corruption. Who would have thought that a man who preached vociferously against sole sourcing in opposition would today be the biggest enabler and promoter of stinky sole source and overpriced contracts to his own family, relatives, and cronies? Alhaji Bawumia has proven time and again that he is a chronic liar and therefore cannot be trusted. It is also clear from the foregoing facts that Bawumia is one of the key architects of the ongoing state capture and corruption that is destroying our nation. He is neck deep in the rampant corruption and nepotism that has engulfed this nation-wrecking NPP government. He cannot therefore be trusted to fight the canker of corruption, as he is himself an integral part of the free-for-all grabbing of state resources and the unprecedented state capture we are currently witnessing. It therefore goes without saying that a vote for Alhaji Bawumia is a vote to cover up the corrupt deeds of these nation-wrecking NPP Ejapade thieves and shield wrongdoers, including Bawumia himself and his corrupt mentor, Akufo-Addo, from accountability. Bawumia cannot simply fight corruption. On the contrary, a vote for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is a vote for change, a change that will ensure genuine accountability and justice. As you may be aware, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has promised that when elected, he will confront the canker of corruption head-on by ensuring that the sword of accountability cuts both ways. He has promised to hold members of this corrupt Akufo-Addo Bawumia NPP government accountable for all their corrupt acts. So, fellow countrymen and women, you can be rest assured that under the next NDC Mahama government, these sleazy, illegal, and inflated sole source contracts will be investigated and the Japadian thieves prosecuted.
Sami Jamfi is the National Communications Officer for the National Democratic Congress. Away from that, but still on the NDC, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has debunked assertions that guinea fowls under the Savannah Accelerated Development Authority flew to Burkina Faso during his tenure as president in 2014. It would be recalled that the management of SADA in 2014 made headlines when information broke that some guinea fowls under the initiative migrated to neighboring Burkina Faso. During a media engagement in Bolgatanga to wrap up his tour of the Upper East region, the former president said the allegations leveled against him were untrue.
Unfortunately, the project ran into issues. The media criticized it, and they came and said the guinea fowls had flown to Burkina Faso. No guinea fowls flew to Burkina Faso. Guinea fowls are not migratory birds. And the project was not for you to come and see thousands of guinea fowls in one place. It was supposed to incubate the eggs and give the guinea fowl day-old chicks to the farmers. And so somebody came and asked, he says he asked the watchman, where are the guinea fowls? And the watchman said, oh, they go Burkina Faso, they go come rainy season, they go come back. And then it took a life of its own. The media went and published it. And up to now, there are people who believe that there were some guinea fowls that flew to Burkina Faso, So that project died, but I think it's a project we can look at again.
He also stressed the need for the next NDC government to collaborate closely with neighboring countries to combat terrorism in the sub-region. During the media interaction in Bolgatanga, Mr. Mahama expressed concerns about Ghana's current relationship with Burkina Faso and pledged to repair and strengthen ties between the two countries.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Your comments are welcome via our WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. A few of your messages that have been coming through. This one says, Samiji, if his comments on sole sourcing contracts to Baumia's brother contradict their stance on competitive tendering. While in opposition, trust erodes when promises are not kept, leading to cynicism and skepticism among the public. Consistency is key in politics to maintain credibility and integrity. Leaders must uphold their principles regardless of changing circumstances to retain public trust and confidence. This is Mausi Aista from Abutia 13 in the Volta region. This one says that brilliant Fahad Ibn Kujeto says the NDC and John Mahama are not interested in this MPP-led IEA debate. John Mahama has or shall use other media forms to air his message to the understanding of Ghanaians. He says he cannot wait for December 7. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Now let's go back to that sole sourcing story emanating from NDC's Moment of Truth press conference. Sami Jamfi, who addressed the press today, and the National Communications Officer of the party is joining us on the line to help us appreciate the issues properly. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. So you say that contracts have been awarded to persons you claim are associated with Dr. Baumia on a single or sole sourcing basis. What contracts are these, if you can take us through some of them?
So, first of all, these are not claims at all. These are indisputable facts. It is an indisputable fact that the phase one of the rehabilitation of the Sunyane Airport project was awarded in the year 2019 at a cost of a whopping 52.25 million Ghana cedis on sole sourcing to a company known as Resource Access Limited, which company is owned by Bawumia's blood brother, Abraham Bawumia, and his wife, Kaminska Aneta Bawumia. It is also a fact that two juicy Kuku Road projects, specifically the upgrading of Asena Kupon or Domasia Sigrim Road, 22.18 kilometers, was awarded to this same company owned by the Bawumias at a cost of a whopping 54.2 million cedis in the year 2020. Another juicy source Cocoa Road project, the Chibusu Asowodre Bangalore Feeder Road, with a contract value of 29.4 million cedis, spanning 14.5 kilometers, was also awarded on sole sourcing to this same company owned by the Bawomias in the year 2020. And as we also demonstrated at the press conference, another set of road projects, the rehabilitation of selected roads in Tishi Camp, Southern Command Military Academy Training School roads, 23.45 kilometers, and partial reconstruction of selected roads in Accra, Lot 1, 44.49 kilometers, as well as construction of Sunyane Bypass Outer Ring Road from Kumasi to Brekum project, also awarded to the same Resource Access Limited, which is owned by Bawomia's senior brother and his wife. Now, the problem is not that projects have been awarded to Bawomia's brother. No, his brother is a Ghanaian and he's entitled to do business. The problem is that all these projects have been awarded through sole sourcing illegally. And all these contracts are inflated contracts which are for
you said that they were awarded via sole sourcing illegally. Sole sourcing is one of the methods under the Public Procurement Act that an entity could be awarded a contract. So how do you mean when you say that sole sourcing illegally?
Under the Public Procurement Act, sole sourcing can only be done under certain exceptional circumstances, i.e., in cases of urgency as a result of unforeseen circumstances, or in cases of urgency as a result of a catastrophic event, or where a particular company has exclusive rights over certain goods and services, and so on and so forth. So there are clear circumstances under which a procurement entity can choose to use sole sourcing. Normal road projects, as I have enumerated to you, and the rehabilitation of the Sunyane Airport, which will involve the refurbishment of a 120-meter runway, 120 meter in length and 30 meters in breadth, if I can put it that way. Okay, and the repair of an existing apron, which basically had to do with the patching of potholes, and what they call minimal rehabilitation of an existing terminal, which had to do with painting and a few renovation works they did there. These are not works that qualify for sole sourcing under the procurement law. So for all these projects to have been awarded through sole sourcing, that is a problem because it makes the contracts illegal. Number two...
But did the contracts go through the Public Procurement Authority? Do you have that information? Whether the Public Procurement Authority gave approval for this project?
For some of the projects, they sought approval. The awarding entity sought approval. For the Ghana Airports Company project, that is the Sunyane Airport project, we have checked and we have not seen any such approvals. But at least for the Cocoa Board projects and the other road projects, approval was sought and we've seen that. And we are saying that approval should not have been granted. And the Auditor General agrees with that. The Auditor General has published a performance audit report on Cocoa rules. And if you look at its findings, specifically paragraph 58, 59, 60, all the way to 65, the Auditor General is categorical that, number one, 266 Cocoa Road projects have been awarded by Cocoa Board. 175 of them were all done without going through competitive tendering. They were done mainly through sole sourcing and a few through restrictive tendering. The Auditor General says that this was totally wrong because it violated the Public Procurement Act. The Auditor General is definite on that. The Auditor General also says that because these contracts were awarded illegally through sole sourcing and no transparent competitive process was allowed, the state, by extension the people of Ghana, were shortchanged. And we ended up paying for these projects at a cost 3 times more expensive than what we would have paid if the projects had been awarded through competitive tendering.
What was the basis for the figures you were quoting? Have you conducted any evaluation or any comparative valuation to suggest the figures you are putting across?
Which figures are you talking about here?
You said that the country's lost money because the contract sums, in your words, have been tripled.
Okay, let me give you your answer.
Yeah. So my point is, what is the basis for that assertion?
The basis is the Auditor General's performance audit report on these projects. At least for the two inflated single source cocoa root projects awarded to this entity owned by the Bawomians. The Auditor General, if you read paragraph 65 of his report, he says, Cocoa Board did not rigorously analyze its procurement options for value for money, but sought approval from PPA for single sourcing and restricted tendering, thus procuring contracts which were up to 3 times more expensive than they could have obtained through competitive tendering. That's paragraph 65, and that is very profound. If you look at paragraph 60, he says that we deduce that roads procured under the national competitive tendering were 1.5 to 3 times cheaper than what Cocoa Board got for roads procured through single source and restricted tendering. So the Auditor General has done the analysis. He has actually published a table, Table 5, where he compares the cost of the few projects which were done through competitive tendering and compares that to the many, the 87% which were done through mainly sole sourcing and a few done through restrictive tendering. And he came to the conclusion that the state spent 3 times more on the projects which were done through the opaque sole sourcing process illegally. Some of these projects are the projects I'm talking about as having been awarded to this entity called Resource Access Limited, owned by Bawomia's brother and their wife. And bear in mind that the reason why this is a major issue is because Bawomia in opposition said a lot of things about sole sourcing. He said sole sourcing was corrupt, sole sourcing was a way of shortchanging the state, and he promised that under an NPP administration, sole sourcing would be a thing of the past. In fact, if I can just refer you to some of the things Bawomia stated on his Twitter handle on the 8th of September 2016. He said, overpricing of contracts, and I'm quoting him, overpricing of contracts through the use of sole sourcing is very typical of this John Mahama NDC government. In 2017, the Ghana Web reported Bawomia saying that we will abort rampant sole sourcing. Then, on the 31st of December 2018, at a press conference to tout so-called 40 fulfilled promises of this government, Bawomia said, quote, we promise to move away from a predominance of sole sourcing to tendering in procurement, and we have delivered. In opposition, his boss, Akufo-Addo, said, the era of sole sourcing will come to an end under my presidency. All these are there. So how come that sole sourcing today has become the norm and not the exception? How come that 87% of cocoa road improvement projects awarded by this government were all done through sole sourcing, which they berated, criticized in opposition, and promised to move the nation away from that? And how come that the most juicy of all these contracts are going to one entity, Resource Access Limited, because it is owned by Bawomia's brother and their wife? How come that in 2023 alone, from 2023 to 2024, at a time many companies, many contractors who have executed government projects completed them, okay, some even got the jobs through competitive tendering. For 5 years, some for 7 years, 8 years, they have not been paid. Yet this Bawomia Brothers company alone, they were paid 83 million cedis in different tranches. And today we projected all the payment vouchers. In a matter of just 9 months, 83 million cedis for projects which were all awarded illegally through sole sourcing, and some of which the Auditor General has found to be overpriced.
Very well.
So we are losing money today.
Very well,
Sammy. That is why we are suffering. That is why we are all feeling the hassle.
So
and the money is going to Bawumia and his family.
Beyond raising the matter, what next or what else would you do or can you do? I mean, beyond raising the matter, the projects were awarded, by the entity, the public entity, which is a public procurement authority. The contractor has done the work, and the contractor is being paid. So, do you blame the entity or the procurement authority, or you are blaming?
You blame them both. You blame them both.
You blame the company for
exactly
winning
you blame
the
them
contract
both because they are the beneficiaries of those illegal sole source overpriced contracts. So they cannot escape liability.
So now that the contract has been executed and payment made, as you say,
MPP government for awarding these overpriced sole source contracts illegally, causing huge financial loss to the state at a time of excruciating and unprecedented hardships for the people.
Very well.
What can we do? What we can do is simple. What we can do is that when elected, we shall launch full-scale investigations into this and similar corrupt acts of this government, retrieve stolen funds for the state for development purposes, and prosecute all those found culpable, no matter whose ox is God. And that is an assurance, that is a promise His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has given. But that can only happen if we, as a people, decide that indeed we have had enough of the corruption and the looting of state resources, vote for change, vote for a new leadership that can pursue through accountability. That will help us make these retrievals I'm talking about for nation building. The thievery of meager state resources is just too much.
Very well.
And most of the times people thought that it was just about the Kufuor and his family and friends. No. Bawumia, the maid, is even worse than the driver.
Very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for speaking to us on Eyewitness News. Sami Jemfe is the National Communications Officer for the NDC. He addressed the press today on the Moment of Truth platform, where he raised a number of issues in respect of some sole source contracts says were given to a company, Resource Access Limited, which he claims is connected to Dr. Bawumia. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Still on some NDC stories. The flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, has stressed the need for the next government or next NDC government to collaborate closely with neighboring countries to combat terrorism in the sub-region. During the media interaction in Bolgatanga, Mr. Mahama expressed concerns about Ghana's current relationship with Burkina Faso and pledged to repair and strengthen ties between the two countries.
And so we know what is happening in Burkina Faso. Indeed, we should be working closer with our comrades in Burkina Faso. Unfortunately, this government has created some tension between us and Burkina Faso because our president went and opened his mouth too wide. You saw the video. He went and was doing conconsa about your neighbor. We all are here. We are suffering. America called you small. And you are so excited, and then your neighbor, you are doing conconsa about him, and so it has created some diplomatic tension. He went there, went and apologized, but still, it's not the best. So when government changes, we have to go and talk to our neighbors because we must work together. Indeed, the whole anti-terrorism strategy of this sub-region was done in Accra. It's called the Accra Initiative. And so we are the hosts of that initiative. So we must be reaching out to them and seeing how we can collaborate with them in order that we quench the fire in their houses. Because if there's fire in your neighbor's house, you don't help him to put it off, it will spread to your house. And so I think that we must improve our relationship with Burkina Faso. At the same time, we must also strengthen our surveillance and security so that in case it comes into our borders, we are able to deal with it. And that is also the reason why we must solve the Boko crisis as quickly as possible, because just across the border is where this thing is happening. And terrorism feeds in through a weak link. And so where you have crisis, that is where it will come through. And that is the reason why the issues of Boko must be dealt with.
Still on John Mahama's tour, he has also vowed to hold those responsible for the financial loss associated with the Mamprugu Dam project accountable. According to Mahama, $12 million has been spent on the project without any progress.
We didn't start it because we were not able to yet procure dedicated funding for it. Because for a project like that, when you start funding it, it must continue to its completion. And so when this new government came, they took it up, and in 2019 they cut short for it. But I noticed something. They said it was going to be funded from Government of Ghana budget. And I knew that that was going to be a problem. Because to have an almost $1 billion project funded from Government of Ghana budget, then you can be sure that it will face the hazards that every other project that depends on the consolidated fund faces. And that is exactly what happened. Of course, it made a lot of political capital for the president's party in cutting short for that project. But I mean, one knew that it was going to face very difficult challenges. Unfortunately, we have rather lost money because almost $12 million was paid for no work done. You go to the site, there's absolutely nothing there. And so somebody has caused financial loss to the state and must be held to account to come and answer what happened. But it's a project that is desirable. We intend to continue.
Speaking on corruption, John Mahama urged the government to allow the special prosecutor to operate without political interference, highlighting the need for accountability and transparency in governance.
Surprise, he said every single case of corruption in his government has been investigated and dealt with. I'm not sure whether he lives in the same country with us or he comes from Jupiter to come and visit us, you know. But certainly we know better. We know that that's not true. To be able to deal with corruption, I think that we should take away political interference. We should leave the anti-corruption institutions to do their work. This government is fighting the OSP. Indeed, they've made attempts to, they hounded the first one so much, Martin Amidu, that he had to resign. And the second one, they set up the OSP office, but they are the ones fighting with the OSP and, you know, trying to get him out. The OSP should be left to work, and I make that commitment when I come into office. The special prosecutor would have a free hand to do any investigations he wants. And it's not going to be, what we do is, it's easy when you come into office to investigate your predecessor government. They are your political opponents, so investigating them and prosecuting them, indeed you'll enjoy doing it. But the real test of the fight against corruption is when it happens in your regime, that you're able to investigate and deal with it.
He also announced plans to review all development authorities if elected. He further pledged his commitment to more strategic and focused development initiatives aimed at addressing poverty in a more effective manner.
We're going to look at all the development authorities again. I don't think that they've achieved the reason for which they were the Coastal Development Authority, Middle Belt, and all that. We're going to look at it again. And like I said, rather than just do blanket development authorities, we must do better targeting of the areas of poverty. What that structure will be, I don't know yet, but it's something that I think we should look at.
Flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll bring you more and your messages as well. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Yeah. We have a new leader in town. OBRNT. Amafo. Madam was Sibebre. When him say my baby, maybe more charcoal for whiter teeth. More charcoal. Not only that, maybe lemon. More lemon. Zinc for fresher breath. More zinc. And fluoride for stronger teeth.
Introducing the new President Charcoal Pack with more power with a combination of charcoal and lemon for naturally whiter teeth. Grab yours now. This advert is FDA approved.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Now let's do some other stories. Members of the Locked Up Investment Holders Forum took to the streets once again today, marking the 11th day of their protest. The group, comprised of investors from distressed financial institutions such as NDK Financial Services, is calling for payment of their locked-up funds. The protesters are demanding that the government provide financial assurance to enable the Bank of Ghana revoke the licenses of these defunct finance houses. Dr. Dianani Entry, the convener for the Locked Up Investment Forum, joins us on the line to help us appreciate their concerns once again. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. So I understand that you sent a petition to the government through the finance minister. And so what has been the response so far? Or have you had any response at all?
Well, we went today, when we went on the picketing, we went there uninvited, where we said we are going in to check on the letter and see what the ministry is doing about the letter. It took us some time, but at least finally we got to the division that the letter has been referred to, that is the FSD, Financial Sector Division. We had some discussion with officers there, about 5 officers. We saw the letter minuted to them, and they are working on it so that they can generate a memo to the ministry and to the minister for a decision to be taken. Basically, what we are saying is that out of the 4 billion that has been earmarked in the budget to address NIB issues, legacy issues, which include the Black Shield clients and other fund management clients. And then the third issue is to address the distressed financial houses, which we are part, the distressed specialized deposit-taking institutions. And we are saying that if government has, as of now, if we do the arithmetic, government has allocated 2.3 as NIB recapitalization and is going to pay 1.5 for the legacy issues. That will leave a balance of 200 million. And we are saying that 200 million, government should ensure that that is reserved to take care of the distressed savings loans and finance houses. But that is not enough to go around to give us any reasonable relief. So we have suggested that government should reduce the 2.3 that it wants to give to NIB to recapitalize NIB. We find it as too much at this time within this environment. In this financial situation that we have, we find ourselves, it's not right for government to give 2.3 to NIB and leave its citizens, especially the elder ones, the pensioners and the sick ones that have gotten their investment lockup, to die without their medication and anything for sustenance. So we are going to ensure that that is done and not to give all this amount to NIB. We don't think that NIB needs 2.3 immediately to operate. They are still operating. So if you want to give them some financing, give them, but not up to that level. As your citizens are suffering, not getting their monies for their medication and other needs of life. So we will be checking on that and make sure that that is done.
But how much in all is the forum owed that you want government to release monies to pay?
Four institutions are unable to pay their investors. That is NDK Financial Services, Bond Savings and Loans, SGC Financial Services, and SIC Life Savings and Loans. SIC Life Savings and Loans says that they are a government institution. It's owned by SIC Life. So they are talking to the government to give them more funds, which is capital, increase their capital so that they can get the funds to pay their clients. So they are not interested in any bailout. And then the SGC Financial Services are also saying that they have enough funds locked up with the Ministry of Finance in terms of this certificates for contractors that they have given out loans. The ministry has started paying, but they haven't paid all. And they say if the ministry pays all the amount, outstanding amount, they will have enough funds to pay every client of theirs. So the two are out as we speak, because they say they have a way of handling the issues themselves. Then we are left with NDK Financial Services and Bond Savings and Loans. These two, they have 2.2 billion of clients' funds with them, these two. So that is what we are working on. If the others think that they have a way of resolving their issues, fine, they can go ahead with that. But these two people do not have any way of resolving the issues. And so we think that the Bank of Ghana should work on that. And the Bank of Ghana say, I will revoke their licenses because they have become insolvent. But I want the Ministry of Finance to make financial provisions down so that when I revoke the license, I can pay you as I paid other people in 2018, 2019.
So, I mean, you are sure that some work will be done on your petition or your letter. What exactly did they tell you will be done? Is it the fact that, the assurance, financial assurance will be provided to enable the Bank of Ghana revoke the licenses as you want, or the money will be provided to pay you? What exactly did they say they were working on?
We think that it makes sense. What we are demanding, it makes sense. You have a lot of problems to solve in this financial market. You don't have the means to solve all. So if you have only 4 billion that has been approved in the budget, it doesn't make sense to some of us to allocate 2.3 billion to NIB. What is NIB going to do to resolve the issues that we are facing? If you recapitalize NIB to that tune, what will be the effect that will be on investors whose funds are locked up? Is NIB going to supply them with medication, give them money for their sustenance? No. So resource NIB a little, but not up to that amount. So we want to operate within the same budget that has been approved. Government said it was going to give NIB about 400 million by May. Assume that that 400 million has gone, they will have gotten money now. They already have money operating. Bank of Ghana has not come out to say NIB's capital has gone below 400 million, so they are going to revoke their licenses. So if you want to help NIB, that is fine, but not at this time. Within this environment, under this condition that we all find ourselves, it is not right for you to say you are going to give 2.3 to NIB to recapitalize NIB and look on for your citizens, mainly pensioners and the sick whose funds have been locked up, to die without getting their funds for their medication.
Yeah, so my question really was, the assurance you said the people working on your letter gave you, what is the assurance in respect
of? The assurance is to generate a memo to the minister so that a decision can be taken. When they have generated the memo, we don't know the decision that will be taken, but we are going to force and press. We will pick it until the right decisions are made.
So did this division, the FSD, did they give you timelines as to when they would
they said they needed some information. I said they should get to Bank of Ghana. The information we have given them, but we are not custodian of those information. The regulators are there, Bank of Ghana, so they should approach Bank of Ghana for that. And we have told them we don't want this to be lying on their table for endless number of months. So every Wednesday, when we pick it there, we will come there and find out the progress that they are making on the letter.
Very well. Thank you so much. Dr. Edu Anani Entry is a convener for the Locked Up Investment Holders Forum. They want government to, provide financial assurance to enable the Bank of Ghana revoke the licenses of some defunct finance houses and also restructure the 4 billion Ghana Citi's government says it has in store for the sector. They also want the 2.3 billion earmarked for the NIB reviewed or restructured so that NIB is giving less than 2.3 billion, and the rest is given to them to take care of themselves. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Engineer Zach in mile 7 says, Salam, I hear the former president saying no guinea fowl ever flew to Burkina Faso. Of course, no sane Ghanaian ever believed the concocted story. However, now that he himself has accepted that nothing of that sort happened, my question is, where is the money for that project? Aaron Babakun Kokomisa in Accra says, transparency and accountability are crucial in combating corruption. Government institutions should be transparent in their decision-making processes and accountable to the citizens they serve. This can be achieved through open government initiatives, public access to information, and robust oversight mechanisms. Saka in Diboyirum, or Sakam Diboyirum, says Sami Jennifer, the NDC said it will not campaign if Dr. Bawumia is elected as MPP flag bearer, but they will only show videos of him on large screens. Now, NDC and its presidential candidate are moving from one end to the other in clear panic mode. Such a funny party the NDC is, you say. Jones Adobo in La says, good evening, Salom. One wonders why even in our current predicament as a country, where a lot of projects have been left to rot due to lack of funds, we are distributing contracts left, right, and center. Ghanaians, you say, are not angry enough. Francis says, so why do NDC have this belief that winning an election, one has to paint the other black and not necessarily a policy? Well, Gastiman in Brekum says, Sami Jenfi is endemic with propaganda and fake news. Instead of going to the grounds to talk about policies, he is consistently interested in attacking individuals' personality. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Now we go to Eno for some story regarding a clash at Miom.
The Northern Regional Security Council has assured residents of the Mion community that steps are being taken to restore peace following a recent conflict. The unrest began early Tuesday morning over a disagreement between factions regarding a proposed land development, escalating into gunfire that resulted in one fatality and several injuries. Meanwhile, local youth in Mion have alleged instances of military brutality. According to a local reporter, some youth who went to the bush this morning to respond to nature's call were stopped by military personnel on patrol and subjected to beatings resulting in injuries. Responding to their concerns, the General Officer Commanding Northern Command, Brigadier General Frank Tay, said investigations are ongoing and those responsible for any wrongdoing will be held accountable.
Our appeal to everyone as the frontliners in security is that everybody should remain calm. The issue that has come up is being handled by the appropriate bodies. That is why we are here this morning for stakeholders engagement. The few arrests that were made from yesterday up to now, it is for our own protection, for our own good, so that the situation doesn't de-escalate into other areas. That's made. Those who were picked up by the police and other agencies, they are with them, they are carrying out investigation. Once that is done, those who need to be released or sent back to the community, they will do it. So they are being handled by professional institutions. So there is no need for us to worry at all about those who were found with weapons, those who were found creating problems. The main aim is for those professional bodies to investigate what is happening or what they were doing. And then after that, they come back to the community and we are all at peace.
Brigadier General Frank Tay is the General Officer Commanding Northern Command. Now, the Northern Regional Minister Alassane Shaibusani called on the youth and other people using social media to stop fueling tensions.
And as RegSec, we have a duty to make sure that the insecurity is dispelled so that everybody can go back to his farms, their various workplaces, to make sure that their livelihood is earned. we have come, met His Royal Highness, Mamprugu. We have explained this to him. We are going to ask him for permission and move into the Kokomba community. And also engage the Kokomba chief and his people, whom I know are also ready and waiting for us like this, just to dispel the rumor that there is conflict here. What's a dispute about land that is bound to be solved? There's no conflict, there's no war situation here. The sense of insecurity that has been created will be dispelled. But our presence here, in the presence of the security, both the police and the army and other paramilitary organizations, we have the BNI, we have the national security, they would all give us the information that we need to deal with this issue.
That was the Northern Regional Minister, Alassane Shaibu Sani.
Now, the Institute of Economic Affairs, the IEA, has announced plans to host presidential and vice presidential debates in October. Despite earlier criticism from the National Democratic Congress over a lack of engagement, the IEA says it has since initiated discussions with various political parties to ensure their participation of all political parties. Speaking to the media, a distinguished fellow of the IEA, Justice Sophia Kufu, emphasized that the debates will provide an opportunity for the parties to present their policies to the public.
The IEA envisages holding the encounters in September and the debates in October and November. We will announce the precise dates, times, and venues for these events after conducting engagements with candidates and their political parties. We will also urge all to keep themselves updated through the IEA website at www.ieagh.org. I think if you simply Google IEA website, you will get a citation where an election 2024 section is being set up. The Presidential Debates Committee, PDC, is also being constituted to review the ground rules that will govern the debates and encounters and to solicit questions from across the country.
You heard distinguished fellow of the IEA, Justice Sophia Kufu. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll take a short break. When we return, to be time for City Business News. And on Point Blank tonight, we'll speak to some aggrieved workers of the produce buying company who demonstrated earlier over their salary arrears. They said they've not been paid for the past 12 months. We'll be finding out why the produce buying company has been unable to pay its workers, at least those ones who demonstrated, for the past 12 months. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go, go. Google me. At what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Joe Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Inosafa. Let's settle for the details. The Office of the Registrar of Companies has published the names of some 43 professional bodies in Ghana that are not in good standing. This follows their failure to comply with the initial June 30 deadline to update their records. There's more in the following report.
The professional bodies were required to file their annual returns and update their certificate of membership by June 30, 2024, as stipulated in Section 16 of the Professional Bodies Registration Act. However, despite the initial deadline of June 30, many professional bodies have failed to comply as of July 31. As a result, the ORC has extended the deadline to December 30, 2024. The ORC's validation of the register post-deadline reveals that 40 professional bodies are in good standing, 43 professional bodies are not in good standing, 11 professional bodies are newly registered, and 73 professional bodies have no contact numbers for record update, whilst 4 professional bodies have requested deregistration due to gaining charter status by an Act of Parliament. Among those not in good standing are prominent organizations such as the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, the Chartered Institute of Bankers, the Ghana Institute of Taxation, and the Ghana Bar Association. Conversely, others such as the Ghana Institute of Planners, Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, and the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana are in good standing. Professional bodies seeking deregistration due to charter status include the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, the Ghana Medical Association, and the Ghana Institute of Pure and Applied Chemistry. The ORC has urged all defaulting professional bodies to comply by December 30, 2024 with compliance, including filing audited accounts, updating membership list, and any other institutional changes.
That was a News Desk report. Now, the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research at the University of Ghana has attributed rising labor agitations, high business costs, and the collapse of some businesses to the high foreign exchange rates and inflation. This finding comes from its report assessing the recently presented mid-year budget review by the Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam.
According to the report, in the first half of 2024, the cedi depreciated by 18.6% against the US dollar, 17.9% against the pound sterling, and 16% against the euro. In 2023, the cedi depreciated by 27.8% against the US dollar, 31.9% against the pound sterling, and 30.3% against the euro. In 2022, the cedi depreciated by 30% against the US dollar, 21.2% against the pound sterling, and 25.3% against the euro. This suggests some stabilization of the exchange rate over the past 3 years. The report also noted that aside from January, the cedi was generally more volatile against major foreign currencies in the first half of 2024 compared to the same period last year. Despite the increased volatility in 2024, the cumulative depreciation rates were relatively lower. The report urged the government to take further steps to reduce the rate of cedi depreciation against major trading currencies and to increase exports to lessen the demand for foreign exchange. It also recommended that the central bank enforce forex regulations more strictly and increase its presence in the exchange rate market.
Government can use both demand side and supply side, to correct this. So for high inflation, we know the commodities that cause the high inflation, and we should target to support those sectors or businesses or farmers in those areas so they can produce more to ensure that there is significant increase in food production without having to import most of these staples. Also look at the exchange rate. What is causing the exchange rate volatility? Aside speculation, we see that we are not generating enough profit. And if we add raw value to our raw materials, to our export.
You heard the director of ISA, Professor Peter Korte, ending that report. Now, government says it's in talks with the regulator to develop a framework to enable pension funds to be invested in road infrastructure projects. This is part of a broader effort to leverage an alternative financing for infrastructure projects other than traditional budgetary allocations, amongst others. Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam has been speaking at the Golden Jubilee celebration of the Ghana Highway Authority.
Addressing long-standing issues with our transportation network will not be easy. However, I believe that together we have the ingenuity and willingness to put together solutions that will ensure that we bridge the infrastructure financing gap and create a road network that over the next 50 years and beyond will be the envy of our peers on the continent. And I say this very convinced that the economy will grow to support these endeavors. This economy is past the period of economic crisis. We have gone past the period of the crisis. The economy has shown resilience. The economy is growing, defying all odds, growing above World Bank targets, growing above IMF targets. And we are very determined to continue to invest in this economy, to grow and increase our revenue generation, to support government efforts at bringing quality and expanded growth network closer to our people.
That was the Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam. Now, the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy has called for the scrapping of the premix fuel subsidy, citing unsustainability, diversion, and failure to improve fishermen's welfare. According to the center, the subsidy has cost Ghana 1.4 billion Ghana cedis from 2014 to 2022, with an annual average of 163 million Ghana cedis. It further bemoans that the premix fuel is diverted, hoarded, and sold above subsidized prices, enriching cartels at the expense of fishing communities. Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Insia, in an interview with Citi Business News, urged government to swiftly address these challenges and ensure sustainable management of resources.
They're sold at expensive prices or diverted into other petroleum market and sold as gasoline, which also affects our vehicle. Looking at it critically, I think that Ghana is wasting a lot of resources in the name of subsidizing premix fuel, and we shall continue to waste a lot of these resources, which we even think by 2026 there will not be enough or adequate funding for this particular policy. And for that matter, we call for a total scrap of it or review to maybe, instead of input subsidy, which is an agriculture policy that goes to support production, we believe that this should be an output subsidy where fishermen who are able to catch enough, fishermen who are able to perform well are rewarded or motivated through some credit facilities to improve their businesses. We believe that this promotes efficiency in the allocation of state resources and also make the fund very sustainable.
You heard the director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Insia. Just before we go, the Bank of Ghana is being advised to introduce an exchange rate policy to alleviate the mounting pressure on the city. In addition to the exchange rate policy, the Bank of Ghana is being urged to maintain its high monetary policy rate. This recommendation comes as part of a broader strategy to curb inflation and stabilize the economy. This was contained in the African Development Bank Country Focus Report titled Driving Ghana's Transformation, the Reform of the Global Financial Architecture. The following report has more.
The report notes that Ghana has over the years experienced sustainable economic growth, but this growth has been associated with weak structural transformation and has recently become unstable. It attributes this low level of structural transformation in Ghana's economy to jobs in Ghana being concentrated and moving to least productive sectors, Ghana under-exploiting factors favorable to structural transformation, and bottlenecks linked to the predominance of the informal sector, the high vulnerability to climate change, limited access and high cost of credit, and the high share of young persons not in education, employment or training. The African Development Bank thus recommends for Ghana to pursue reforms aimed at strengthening macroeconomic stability and supporting structural transformation efforts. Key among this is to introduce an exchange rate policy to reduce pressure on the cedi exchange rate. The Bank of Ghana should allow the cedi to freely adjust as much as possible based on changes in other macroeconomic fundamentals, because attempting to resist movements based on fundamentals could undermine growth. In the short term as well, Ghana should continue the fight against inflation with restrictive monetary policy and measures to stimulate supply. The Bank of Ghana should maintain its tightening monetary policy stance. It should also maintain its monetary policy rate high enough to bring inflation back to its target zone and anchor inflation expectations. The government should remove factors preventing domestic supply from responding to rising prices and boost labor productivity through investment in infrastructure and human capital.
That was the News Desk report, and that's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Inu Safo. Up next is Point Blank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Twenty 21 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome to Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My name is Salom Adonu. Tonight on Point Blank, we look at some labor issues. The produce buying company, otherwise known as PBC, has its workers up in arms against the company. The workers say they have not been paid for the past 12 months. They say the company is not properly capitalized and it has been mismanaged over the years. That's why there are over 700 members of staff, permanent members of staff, go home for the past 12 months without monthly salary. Pressure group, which led a demonstration today. They are in the studio to help us appreciate their issues better. So I have in the studio Frederick Kwame Boache. He's a pressure group chairman of the PBC. Seth Eduse, vice chairman of the pressure group. And Casimir Kuranchi, organizer for the pressure group at the PBC. Gentlemen, you are welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you, sir.
So I see you guys are members of a pressure group.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, it's the union that should be doing this. Doesn't PBC have a union? Let me start off with you, Chairman.
At the moment, I can say we don't have.
Why? There's a union, but you don't have a union.
We have a local union and the PMSU.
Mm-hmm.
Local union represent the junior staff of the company, and the PMSU represent the senior staff of the company.
Mm-hmm.
But at the moment, we have only one person claiming that he is the chairman of PMSU. All the other positions, those occupying those positions, have resigned because of inefficiency of the chairman.
But if the chairman is inefficient, like you claim,
yeah,
why can't the rest of the officers come together to perhaps impeach him or get him to step down?
Even
your constitution should have provisions for those.
Good, but that chairman, he wasn't even elected. He was appointed by the management. That is why the other members sees him. When they advise him, they don't take it. That is why they have also resigned.
I see. I'm sure he will have his own defense to what you're saying. So what is the issue really? I mean, for the past 12 months, you say you have not been paid. But you still go to work or you stop going to work?
Oh, we are all at our duty post.
You go to work?
Yes.
Despite not being paid for 12 months?
I'm telling you, because we are working under the labor law. So we don't want to take
but the labor law also says that you should be paid when you work.
Good. But we don't want to take the law into our whole own hands. That is why we always go to work.
I see. That's interesting. So,
yes.
So Casimir, yes.
It's not that we are not working. We are working because we do other administrative work. Just last week, we were asked to produce district maps, which we sent to the regional managers. So it means that you are at post.
So why haven't you been paid for 12 months, Seth? Why haven't you been paid? Because you keep working, and so you keep producing. You are being productive. That's what it means. Why haven't you been paid?
Under normal circumstances, you work, and at the end of the month, you are paid. PBC, because we work and then make margins from our activities, we are not paid directly from controller and accountant general.
Okay.
So it is out of our operations that money or payments are made from through our earnings. But because of the past 1 year and we haven't been funded, it is going to be very difficult for any margin to be made and used to pay us.
Who should fund you?
Under normal circumstances, we also take money from Cocoa Board through the Ghana Cocoa Board syndicated loan, which we enjoyed from the comfort letter from the president. He normally gives them that comfort letter to also enable us to be able to take money from Cocoa Board, because when PBC got out of Cocoa Board, we were not capitalized. So all this while we have been well on loans to finance ourselves to be able to operate. Sometimes when you go to the capital market to look for, or the banks to look for money, the loan interest brings our activities down. So we have always been dwelling on the syndicated loan, which comes with some sort of comfort.
The comfort letter from the president.
From the president.
So what's the point? Is it that the president hasn't given the said comfort letter, or you don't know?
We are very much aware that the government has been doing it, but when we finished working from the year 2022 to the year 2023, we operated without any problem and without any challenge. But from the year 2023 to the year 2024, we realized that funding was not coming. We first and foremost started with our management. We were not getting answers. And then we chanted on our union leaders. They were also not coming forth. That was why we decided that then let us do something about this issue, because we can't just sit down like that. Other LBCs are working. So let's just be able to find out, because before we get funding, all the cocoa in the market might have gotten finished. It was as a result of that, our effort, which led us to the ICU General Secretary, who also took us to the sector manager, only to be realized that management is having challenge with cocoa.
I see. So you say you work, etc. Frederick, you are the chairman.
Yeah.
For someone listening to us who doesn't know what PBC does, maybe the person drives and sees your company and all of that. What is the work that PBC does?
Okay, we purchase cocoa on behalf of the government. We purchase cocoa from our farmers, from the society level to the district level, and we hand over to the government.
So you buy cocoa from the farmers,
good,
and then you give it to government. You sell it to government.
Yes,
you make some profit.
Yeah,
and that is the profit you depend on.
Good.
Okay, so over the years, when you work and get profit, you save some, right? So is it a case that all the years that PBC has been operating, making margins, etc., you did not have enough to save to reinvest into your business so that you can, to some extent, do away with the money or the funds that should be coming from somewhere to capitalize you? Who will take that, Casimir?
Yeah. It is right for every business to make business and make some reserves. They should be so with PBC. But now, with our current management, you see, cocoa trading is a commodity trading. And you make profits when you buy in volumes. Now we're having a management who are not interested in buying volumes to make profits to meet our fixed costs.
So they buy small.
Yes.
Yeah. But is it
and
do they buy small because they don't have money, or they just don't want to buy?
It is, you see, in the commodity trading, when you buy volumes and you even make some losses, because you have made volumes and you have made huge margins, it can cover for the shortfalls that you have made.
Yeah, but I want to know, why are they not buying the volume? Because they know this. If you know this, they also know this.
Yes, because it is.
They don't have the money.
It is principle in commodity trading.
Yeah, I'm saying that. So so that's the principle, that when you buy more, you're able to even if you make losses, then because you've bought in huge volumes, it covers for the losses, etc. So it's good to buy in volumes and everywhere, economies of scale, etc.
Yeah.
And so we know this, which means that they also know, your management knows this.
Yeah.
So why have they been unable to buy in volumes in order to cover up the losses they might have been making and make more benefits or make more profits? Is it because they don't have money, or it's because of the management style? There's the money, but they don't want to buy
volumes. I think it's the management style, and they are risk averse. So they don't want to.
So even though there is the money, they don't want to buy in volumes.
They are afraid of going for the money.
Meanwhile, the first cost stands at it. You have 750 staff to pay salaries, and you see
750,000.
No, 50 staff. That's direct staff.
That's direct staff. Okay.
You have the indirect staff, the commission marketing clerks. They are there, whom the company still owes. You see, and if it happens this way, look at the trend. Let's look at the trend from 2017. The market share is declining from 30 to 28 to.
So I mean, there are more. There are other people, LBCs, coming into the sector.
Yeah,
they are there already. But if you are a manager,
their shares are growing, or their share of the market is growing,
and the market share is falling. What strategy are you putting in place to safeguard the market share, which is dropping?
But for a while now, you didn't have a managing director, right?
We have been having managing directors for all these years. Now, the one who died, when he died, somebody was acting. In the era of the current president, we have about 3 different managing directors being appointed to save this company.
And all the managing directors face the same problem. So don't you think that it may not be the the persons of those managing directors, but it's a systemic problem that they've been unable to solve, because all of them can't be having the same problem and you blame it on them. There's a systemic problem.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because if you are a manager and you see that the share is falling, you must put a strategy down to raise the share or to maintain the status quo. Because you know that it is only by maintaining that you can meet your fixed cost.
I see. So, I mean, there's no money, or you're saying even right now as we speak there is money, and because they are risk averse, they don't want to buy the beans.
What I can say is our problem now is the debt to the cocoa board.
Okay, so
that is causing us to not getting the funds.
So when a syndicated loan comes, because you owe cocoa board doesn't give you something.
Yes, the Honorable Wahedu told us that 2023, 2024, because of that debt, he's not going to give us any funds.
But what happened to the money? Over 200 million.
Yeah, 280 million.
280 million. What happened to that money?
That one there we can't tell unless our management come to explain things to the workers and the government.
But you are a pressure group in the organization. Have you tried to engage leadership or management?
That is why we are saying we went to the ICU General Secretary and he led us to our sector minister, and it is there that our FNA admit that
the FNA means Finance
and Administration
Deputy Managing Director.
Deputy Managing Director. It was there she admitted that we owed that figure to Cocoa Board.
But so since then, when was this meeting?
15th May. Yeah.
So 15th May till now has been about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And you keep going to work. What is the ministry, which is the mother body, doing to help you, pay this debt, so you can come back to normal, or you can be buoyant and you can be liquid again? Do you know?
That's the Ministry of Agric.
The Ministry of Agric, yes.
And the Ministry of Finance.
Okay.
Because the Ministry of Finance is a shareholder.
The Ministry of Finance is a shareholder of PVC.
Yes.
I see. Who else is a shareholder of PVC?
SNIT.
Oh, so SNIT is a shareholder.
Yeah.
And so SNIT should give you some money so you can invest and make more money for them, because if you do well, the shareholders get money. Is that
they too, because of this debt, they don't even have interest now in the company.
How did the debt come about? Is it that in 1 year you accrued this amount of debt, or it was gradual?
That one there.
Okay.
All right. So who will speak?
Let me come in.
Okay, Casimir.
From trend analysis, we know that from 2017 till last season, there were no losses.
There were no losses.
Yeah.
No losses.
Yeah.
Only 2022-2020 season that we made a loss.
5,471 bags
of cocoa.
5,000 bags of cocoa.
Yeah. Yes.
And even with that
and 5,000 bags of cocoa will amount to how much in
At
cedis?
800 Ghana cedis.
At the price of 800 Ghana cedis.
So 5,000 by 800.
Yes. And even that loss can be mitigated, because we have what we call a mitigating fund that we call sample residue. So if 2017 there was no loss, it means that reserve should be there. 2018 no loss, the reserve must be there. 2018 no loss, 2019, 2010 up to date. And if you tally those figures, it is about 33,000 plus bags.
33,642
so
bags.
When we less the 5,000 bags
out of it
as the current loss,
there should be more money.
Yes,
reserves.
it's about 28,000 reserves.
So what's the problem then?
This is where we are all find ourselves in darkness. Why is management not opening up to us?
But have you made a representation to management? Have you gone to management to say,
and
guys,
what is happening? We cannot go to them directly because we are part of the union. And if for anything,
but you said the union doesn't.
No, before the union collapsed.
But we engaged them.
Before the union collapsed, we engaged them series of times.
Yes.
And what did they tell you?
They were also claiming that management had assured them that they are making every effort such that Cocoa Board will listen, or the government will listen, and then give us funding to be able to operate. So we were thinking that they were also making effort not knowing that they were hiding something from us.
The union people.
Yeah, the union and the management
but
together.
When you talk about management, who do you mean? You mean top level management?
The top executive management, not the line managers. I am only talking about the chief executive officer, the MD, the deputy chief executive officer in charge of operation, and the deputy chief executive officer in charge of finance and admin. These are the executive management.
So these three are those you claim are hiding things from you.
They were really hiding things from us.
So now that the cat is out of the bag, you see the length of the snake or the length of the frog. The length of the problem.
Sure. That is why we are saying that they have failed us. If for nothing at all, we are working as an institution. We have various branches. So even if you are management and you seem to have a problem, you can channel some of your problem through your union leaders. And then we can find a very nice way to meet with the president who appointed you to office. Because, look, our current chief executive officer has been on post for the past 1 year, 4 months now. Somebody appointed you to work. And then for the past 1 and almost 1 year, 4 months, you haven't been funded to work.
So
if at the normal circumstance.
So it means that since he came, you've not been.
He has been able to not attach any money. So, and the normal, wouldn't it have been the best thing for him to go back to the one who appointed him and say?
But wait, let me understand this. So the top management people, their salaries go through. They are paid.
No,
they are
also not. But let me say one thing.
They are also not paid.
We don't know.
You don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know because we have subsidiaries.
We have subsidiaries. Body being in Kumasi is a subsidiary to BBC.
And
Bupe say not.
It's our subsidiary.
So you think they make money, but they pay themselves?
We are not saying
that. We haven't seen it.
Looking at it, if assuming that these two are not in any good form, do you think they would have still been there to work? Why are they being able to buy fuel? To also, we are not doing politics, but I know my present chief executive officer always go campaign with our current vice president, and he takes fuel from our yard because we have a fuel dump. So why would you take a fuel from us?
You know,
where do you get? Oh, we know for a fact. Why do you take the fuel from there and then accompany the vice president? And we have an adage that if your family member is the monkey, do you think your cap will still be left in the tree?
Which means the monkey will bring you
the certainly bring it to you. Now, so they put it that who be any abokokua uche enkediem.
Because the abokoku will bring the share to you.
Yeah. Certainly. So if for that thing at all, you could have been able to tell the vice, listen to my people. I haven't been able to pay them for the past 1 year.
But are you sure it is all of you who haven't been paid? Because if over 700 permanent staff, not to talk about the casuals, haven't been paid, and they all keep going to work every day.
For us, the intimidation aspect of our problem is what has kept them silent.
So they are hungry, but they come to work.
Because if you talk, our chief executive officer signed a letter that even if we make any effort or any member of the staff of PBC try to even join with the pressure group to even do anything like a demonstration,
you'll be sanctioned.
So how was the demonstration today? How did it go?
It was very fruitful.
How many people joined out of the 700?
We were about 400 plus.
So where did you march? I mean, where did you march from to where?
We began from the Peace FM.
Yeah,
through to the
Tetekwasi.
Then we passed through the school security area, Choice FM to Yolu.
That's quite a distance.
Oh
yes.
We passed through the Tetekwasi roundabout.
This shows that we are serious. You see,
have you since the demonstration heard anything from management?
The management were not looking at the office. They have even
so they even told the police that they should not allow us to enter our premises.
You want
this is an intimidation.
Yes, and they were off.
They all left off.
You see, but what worries the staff most is that in this present time where the staff are suffering, we have funds like PF1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
These are own personal funds, which we have.
Okay, so you wanted to liquidate your PF.
Give it to us to sustain our livelihoods.
But they don't have to give it to you.
No, we have
It's for tomorrow.
For the PF, we have the PF1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
The PF1 and 2 is paid every year.
Mm-hmm.
The PF1 is paid every year. The PF2 is paid every 3 years. They are long overdue since 2017. We haven't given.
But is that money there? Is it there?
That is what we are pushing them. Then 2, our tier 3, it is past 12 years. The agreement was 10 years. Now, these workers are in need. You have paid it about 2 years ago to the office staff. Now the field staff comes to you and says that we are also in need. We are dying. Authorize the payment of the tier 3 for us to also relieve some of our stress, to meet our bills and other things. You say, even then from the scratch, you say, oh, before you can get this money, it will take 3 months.
I see. But the sector minister.
But after the demonstration today, the forms were sent to enterprise today.
The forms were sent to Takrady.
To enterprise insurance. Today. After the demonstration.
So it means the demonstration is.
It means that it was deliberate, intentional.
Let's stop them.
They even plan to pay us 90% instead of full amount
of the PF
of the tier 3.
The 90% is only the employees.
Only the employees one.
But your own contribution, you will not be paid.
Yes.
You'll be paid that one, but the employers.
90%.
Yes.
But the employees one.
Yes.
The employers one, they won't pay.
They won't pay.
Even the employees one, they are telling us to go for 90%
of the employees.
Of the employees.
So does it mean that month on month the employers' part was not being paid?
Meanwhile, when you check with your statement with enterprise insurance, it is up to date.
I see.
And also when you check with SNIT, even though management is not paying salaries of the workers, SNIT's statement is updated.
Well, they pay SNIT, but they don't pay
every
salaries.
month. Yes.
So what accounting principle follows
I don't know what accounting
No,
principle.
but your salary is known, so they just pay the 13.5% of it, and that's
where do you get the money from to pay?
No, but there's some little money. You say that there are other subsidiaries, so there's some little money. Your future is more important, so they think they have to secure your future.
But why did they not increase our salary, our salary for the past 10 years, 8 years?
No, but I don't know. But anyway, so
if indeed the subsidiary can help us with anything,
the subsidiary cannot generate enough to occasion a salary increase.
But it's against the principles of accounting.
Are you playing the devil advocate?
No, I'm not a devil. So Fred, I'm interested. So what do you do with PBC? What do you do?
I'm a district manager.
You're a district manager.
Akimoda district.
Akimoda. So you came all day from Akimoda.
Yes.
So how about you?
I'm a district manager for Sefia Sampade.
Yes,
sure.
Yes.
Hey, all right, you too.
District manager.
Where?
Achimofo.
But the people in the Greater Crowd, the head office, they are not part of the demonstration.
They are part.
You were there.
Okay,
you were there.
Okay. What? Because all of you talking at district people from the hinterlands.
Yes.
The people in Accra, they don't.
Because they fear.
They will be intimidated.
I see. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you so much. I hope that the demonstration has yielded some results, and I hope that once you've spoken, they will hear and.
But the management should go. We don't need them.
And all of that. You want the management?
We don't need them. They can help us, my brother. Do you think, with your efficiency and with the work that you are doing, if you have started from 30% of your performance efficiency had reduced to zero, do you think we have been maintained here?
No, they will sack you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Edu says vice chairman of a pressure group.
But point of correction. Okay. We haven't received the tier 3 yet.
You've not received it yet.
Yes.
He said the funds have been sent to enterprise.
Today. Only lent. We lent.
That's a great bad.
Oh, that's a great value.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We didn't see.
You didn't see.
Yeah.
But you people said they sent.
But we have been informed that
today.
It's a great one.
So it means that you want the workers.
No, but this is a rumor. So you don't.
It's a rumor.
So you
it's a rumor.
Yes.
No. We would like you to
find out.
Follow up on that.
We'll try our best.
Sure.
Frederick Kwame Boachi is the chairman of the pressure group at the PBC. Seth Edusa is the vice chairman of the pressure group at the PBC. And Casimir Kranchi Yeboah is the organizer for the pressure group PBC. This is how we conclude today's edition of Eyewitness News Point Blank, which came to you Live from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Martin Lupin at Abraka in Accra. Show produced by Nana Kobna Wilson and Beverly London, with assistance from Chris Asime. Technical assistance has been given by Emmanuel Latte, and social media support, as always, by Edwin Kwa Kofi. Earlier you heard Eno Safo. My name is Selom Adonu. Up next is Face to Face. Don't go away. Have a good evening.